So this is going to be the first in a series of videos that we're going to talk about some impulse control work. One of the first things that I want to teach my dogs, and this goes for all dogs, this is not just dogs who need impulse control work. This is things that I teach my puppies from the very beginning. It helps with impulse control, and I believe it helps create a strong foundation of impulse control. But this is not necessarily only things we do for dogs that only have impulse control issues. I firmly believe that all of these different exercises build connection, teamwork, and communication between you and your dog. So one of the first things I like to teach my dogs is some sort of go-to-bed behavior. And I call it go to bed. What that means for my dogs is go to your safe spot. Go to your spot. I have multiple dog beds throughout the house. This is one that's right next to my desk right here, and I have another on my other side of my desk, and there's actually one over there too. And then in the bedroom, there are multiple dog beds all over the bedroom. So if I have a dog, let's say, company is coming over, something like that, someone knocks on the door, I can turn to my dogs and say, go to bed. And they will all go to different beds, and it might interchange. One time Allie might run to this bed, and that's where she goes. Next time she might go to that bed, and maybe Trip comes to this bed. There's not a specific thing they have to do. They don't have to go to a specific spot. I just teach them that go to bed just means I want you to go to this spot. So I build value for all the various beds. So most of the time at my desk, I have a jar that has little training treats in it. And I will just be sitting here. I work at my desk pretty much all day long. And randomly, I will just toss treats to all the dogs that are laying on their bed and reward them for coming to their spot and being on their bed. So when I start with my puppies, I want to teach them that being on this bed is a happy place. This is where we want to be. So I will just like this, I'll kind of, when they're little babies, I'll sit down on the floor with them. And I just want to reward them on the bed. And the reason I'm not really throwing these treats is they crumble really bad. This is a bad choice of training treat. But I will throw the treat on the bed and start teaching them that go to bed in this behavior right here. This is what I want. This is your happy spot. So I'm just going to build value for that bed. And then I want to also build value for that release. So they're on the bed, and then I want to be able to say, okay, good girl, and toss a treat. And now I want her to choose to get back onto her bed again. What a good girl. And we're going to reward that. And that's the way this goes for quite a while. I'm building value for her spot, for her bed, and I will do this with different beds all around the house. So it's not always just this bed. I might do the same exercise over on that side of the house with that bed, over there with that bed, in the bedroom with their beds that they sleep on at night. So they learn that these beds are a good spot. They're a nice place. So I'm going to release her again. Okay. And she gets her cookie toss. And then she's going to come back to her bed. And that's another yes, what a good girl, and come back to her bed. Now the next thing I want to start building value for on this bed, and this is something that I'm working on with her, is that now I want to start building value and start rewarding calmness, right? And so a lot of that happens when I'm sitting at my desk. And I'm sitting at my desk and I'm working, and I happen to glance over and she's just hanging out. And she's got her head down on the bed and she's just hanging out. I'm going to toss her a treat and reward that calm behavior. I will definitely reward that calm behavior if, say, one of the other dogs is over here and they're playing with a toy, they're throwing it in the air, and she's over here on this bed just hanging out. I'm going to reward that behavior. Tell her what a good girl she is for just coming over here and being calm and being on her bed. I want to reward that calm behavior. So what this turns into is a calm spot. Somewhere that they can go that is their spot, and we're reinforcing calm state of mind and a calm behavior. I personally love doing this exercise, especially teaching these kind of games. And what I can do with this is, because I have taught them on all these different beds, I can take a smaller bed that's easier to carry than this, a bath mat, anything, and build value for that. And now I can take it to a trial. I can put it in their crate, and that becomes this nice calm area in their crate. I also, a whole nother video, but I build value for their crate, that their crate has the same meaning as this bed, a calm place. So how does that translate into impulse control for agility? Well, if I'm taking my mat to these agility trials, and my dog maybe is sitting out with me on their mat being calm while agility is running, I'm helping them learn that impulse control while there is exciting stuff happening everywhere. A lot of these games I've done for quite a while with all my dogs, and I've also learned some really cool new ones from Absolute Dogs, which is Tom Mitchell and Lauren Langman. I highly recommend their DVD, their Naughty But Nice DVD, and their Facebook group. They have taken a lot of these same games that I've done, and they've really, made a really nice sequence, of how to train them from foundation all the way up. And they also have some really cool other games that I haven't used that are, I think, really helpful for a dog with impulse control issues and to teach them. So I highly recommend checking out their website. They have a really awesome Facebook group where you can post video, ask questions, and Lauren and Tom respond a lot of the time to those questions. I highly recommend both of those. In the next videos in this series, I'm also going to be talking about some of the other games I play with my dogs to help teach them impulse control, including kind of an on-off switch. Moving weight is one of my big impulse control games, and learning to work with the other dogs and still keeping that nice, calm state of mind.